Hello and good evening here from the Circuit of the Americas. It is Friday night. We're here at APPF1 and that can only mean one thing. Tier 1 is on the cards. Tier 3 had a go on Monday. Tier 2 on Tuesday. And now it is time for the top dogs of the APPF1 League. As I said, welcome to the Circuit of the Americas. 5.513 kilometers, a very challenging circuit, not just for the drivers, but for the cars as well. And we're here for 18 minutes of qualifying as the first cars are making their way, I should say, out onto the grid. Let's get everything I need up now that I'm finished talking away. There we go. That's everything I'm looking for. Welcome to everybody in the chat as well. Hola, Lawson. Who's at first? It is, of course, my good friend and colleague and bitter rival, Lawrence D, already invalidating his lap, I see. As we go out onto the circuit for a fantastic qualifying session, I'm sure. So we are getting going. It's been a while. I haven't been in the box for a little while. I'm Sumo, if you didn't know. New people who weren't aware that I am indeed a commentator here when I can make the races, I suppose. But it's been a little while. You may know me from Tier 2 all the way back when. But yes, it's been a long while. Hello. And while we've got to learn the proceedings, we've got a nice 19-car grid. We're missing a few drivers. Finley not here. It's his Nana's birthday, so happy birthday, Nana Finley. I hope you have a good one. And another birthday tomorrow, in fact, is this man right here, Lawrence. I'm sure he'll want me to shout him out. I'm sure he'll also send your address if you want to send him a card with some money in it, preferably. But I wouldn't, unless it's like pennies or something. Anyway, let's take you on a lap around the Circuit of the Americas then. You've got to open up this final corner to get the best run you can, all the way up the hill towards turn number 1. Brake as late as you dare. Spot that apex. It is blind. You've got to take as much of it as you can. Lawrence a little wide of it, but a little squirrely on the exit. But down the hill we go. Now you've got to use as much of the curb as you dare without invalidating through here. Minimise the distance. And then a slight downshift through this double right-hander. Then another through this left-hand corner, and then into third for Lawrence through here. You can take it in fourth, and through here you can go flat if the setup's good enough. Back down the hill we go now. Sector 2 begins royally here, and then into this next hairpin. You've got to really take the curb through here, minimise the distance, carry the speed. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 1. It looks like a Williams that has gone around, but continuing down this back straight now. DRS open all the way down this bumpy back straight, which is in real life. And into another hairpin corner, another one of these corners where you just got to take as much curb as you can. And then in towards the third sector now. Lawrence at 102.9. Oh, and another squirrely moment from Lawrence. He'll definitely want to clean that up over the next few laps, but carry the speed through this corner. And then we're into the triple right-hander. You want to hit that second apex, and then the third and the fourth if possible. Lawrence has done all three. The trickiest corner on the circuit now through here. Lawrence, oh, and he invalidates on the final part of the lap. And we'll run over to Palang, who I think will finish it off for us. Carry as much speed from the curb through here as possible, and then over to the line. And Palang starts us off with a solid lap time. Ghost is invalidated. He hates this track with a passion, and he's not fancying himself on this year's game at the moment. But I'd like that he could prove. I can't speak. Hopefully he can prove himself wrong. That's what I was trying to say, as Rick puts in a 33.6. Next is the Mercedes. Is that Koru? It is Koru up here. His name is Temp because he's got his account banned, apparently. Paulie Orange, he makes a return to league racing in about 2 years or so. And it's a solid time to start off with. Kylo Ren in his Mercedes going across the line with them. Vandersnatch, the American, on the grid, coming home with a provisional lap good enough for pole position. LB into the pits. Alpine of RJ Blair, tier 3 race winner. Couldn't quite do it in tier 2. making his way through. Here's Josh, formerly Hamilton Merck, making his way around the lap in his McLaren. Let's see what he is able to do. I do so hope you can hear me on the stream, because I've had that problem before. If anyone's in the chat right now and able to tell me, that would be great. If not, I'll have to go check when we've got a quiet moment. But Josh across the line, and it's a solid go from him, but he'll have to try and improve there. And already you can see the pace difference. I think pole in tier 2 was a 32.5, I believe. And we've already surpassed that with Vandersnatch's lap. So we'll definitely go into those quicker times there, maybe even into the low 31s if we are lucky. Pepito here has raced in all 3 tiers this week, tier 3, 2 and 1. I think he had a decent showing in tier 2. I think penalties perhaps ruined his go of it, but let's see how he gets going through here. There's Jackalacco close to his teammate Rick there. I think Pepito is going to be the next across the line. Yes, he is. Let's see where the Sauber can place himself as he crosses the line for the first run of the evening. It's P13, so it's effectively the bottom of the pile there, as Ghost is more than likely going to improve on that time. Banter Brandon back in the session as well. Nice to see Banter back, and I think he is on a lap right now. I think he'll be the next across the line and finish a lap. Let's see how he goes through this triple right-hander through here. As we go along, lots of returning faces, lots of new faces here as well. I'll try and point them out to you as they come along. I think mostly, actually, there's not many new drivers here. Pepito's brand new, as Banter Brandon puts himself into 5th place. Through there, yeah, Pepito's the newest driver on the grid that I can see. Here's Ghost. Can he get a representative time now? He can, a 33.6. That's not the best from Ghost here. He won't be too chuffed with that. He'll want to improve on that time. That's for certain. Who else is out on circuit right now? I think most people are coming in for in-laps now. LB and Robert DS are on out laps. LB is about to start his next lap. He is a returning face here, of course. The previous 2-time Tier 2 champion. And we'll see what he can deliver in his Williams. If you look closely, that front right tyre is just slightly off the ground. Isn't that strange? Well, the things you notice when you're watching along. But LB then in towards turn 1. That looked pretty solid through there. Carried as much speed and took as much curb as he possibly could. Very vibrant helmet there on LB as he makes his way through the S section. Really got to commit through here. Let's see. LB, ooh, I think he could go a little bit quicker through there. And he's definitely missed the apex through there as well. That's going to cost him a lot of time in this first sector. But through into sector 2 now. And is that an invalidation? It is. That's unfortunate for LB. He's got plenty of time to go again. But he won't want to do that too many more times. Robert DS. He's a returning face here, of course, in APP. Races in Elite as well. On a Sunday. That'll be the last trip to COTA we make here in APPF1 this week. MX back as well, and back on form by the looks of things. 32.4 for the German driver, my old teammate from Tier 2 Season 3 way back when. Returning to the team that we won the Constructors in, actually. So there you go. It's my the one championship I have to my name, and I can't really say I did all that much for it. Robert DS, 33.6 is his current time. I think maybe that was his outlap. Let's watch him in the Red Bull. Let's see what he can do as he makes his way around. You know what? I really got to check this. Give me one moment. Cool. 1 moment was all I needed. It's definitely working. Okay, we don't have that problem again. What happens is I plug in my mic, and it's my PlayStation's like, oh yes, is this your mic? And I'll select that. And if I unplug anything else, like my headset or something, it then switches the mic over to the headset, but obviously the headset's muted because I'm on my comms mic, my actual, you know, mic that I spent a lot of money on for this very job. So yes, technology, isn't it brilliant? Anyways, very, very busy track. Only 3 cars in the pits right now, but we're watching Robert DS make his way through Sector 2. Only one of 3 drivers who have yet to set lap times. LB invalidated. Lawrence invalidated his lap as well earlier on. We'll try and catch the laps as they come in. We're well into the second runs here in this qualifying session. No clue what the weather's going to be doing as we go along, but we'll find out. Robert DS takes a little bit too much on that penultimate corner and ends his lap prematurely. He'll have to go again. Paulie Orange, 6/10 up though. This is looking like a decent lap on his return to sim racing. Let's see in his provisional pole, and we are well on our way to a 1 minute 31 here. That's very exciting to see the times drop away. There's an Alpine next. It's Joe. He's invalidated his lap time, as has Koru. That is a shame. Lawrence makes his way through. He's on an out lap though, so we'll come back to him a little bit later on. Kylo Ren then, he's making his way around. He's 2/10 up. This could potentially put him into that top 4 perhaps. If he can find a little bit more, it has. 4th place for Kylo Ren right now. There's a Haas about to cross the line. That's Jackalacco making his way across. 4/10 improvement. Stays in the same spot that he was just a moment ago. There's a Williams next. I think that's Vander. He's invalidated his lap. Lots of invalid laps. I worked out actually on tier 3 the total amount of time penalties between all the drivers worked out to about 2 minutes and 10 seconds. That is over a lap. Ladies and gentlemen, over a lap around this circuit. It's about a lap and a half actually. Anyways, Glock, a very quick driver on when he debuted just a few races ago than the dying races of the last season. Puts himself into P4 though. These times very close between P2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there as well. But Paulie Orange, he's done an incredible job to put it on provisional pole. Palang has invalidated his lap here as well. Let's see who else. RJ's starting a lap. That means Joe will be finishing one, but he's invalidated. Lots and lots of invalidations from a lot of drivers here. Can Lawrence avoid it this time? Yes, he does. Can he make his way through this penultimate final corner without invalidating or spinning? He can. Let's see where it puts him. A 33.2. That's a bit better from Lawrence in his first race here in Tier 1 this season. Pepito into the pits. MX making his way around. He's way down on his previous time though, and he's peeling into the pit lane, of course. There we are. Jacko way down as well. I think everybody's coming in now, I think is the general consensus, as Lawrence invalidates yet again. But yes, we've got a few moments before the final runs of qualifying start. Then I'll take a quick brief look at my notes. APPF1 Fantasy, of course. We've had Tier 2, Tier 1. I hope your teams are looking strong for this one. If you need to go find out any information on Fantasy, you can go and find the relevant channels in the Discord. And of course, it's not too late to sign up. You won't score points for this week, but you can indeed score points for the rest of the season. So get those teams submitted if you haven't done so already. It looks like a right blast. Ghost has put in a lot of hard work for this. I'm in awe, in fact, of the work that Ghost has put in for this, because I don't think I could do it personally. And here he is, the man himself, making his way around another lap. This could be a final lap for him, to be honest. He'll have to make this one a quick one if he's going to get one more lap in. But we'll yet to see. Anything else? And of course, Ghost, my podcast partner here. Perfect segue into my next set of notes. If you've not listened to the first episode of the new season, go ahead and listen. We talk all things British Grand Prix, and of course the start of Predictions Championship Season 7. Yes, Season 7. We're going to make it number 6. 6 times Predictions Champion. We'll see. Ghost making his way around though. This man has many, many racing championships in this league, but one predictions championship. Can he go in the hunt for a championship this season? I wonder. P9 for Ghost. I think he might be a little bit disappointed with that, but that's a solid effort nonetheless. A track he doesn't like all that much. I'm sure he will find some more time, and he's got to. I don't know. It's going to be tight if he's going to put another lap in. I don't think he's going to do it. He'd have to be in and out, but the track's too long. We'll see. It's going to be Banter Brandon. He peels into the pit lane. Is it going to be Joey B? Yes, it is. Joey B. A lot of drivers going for a nice pink helmet. Even me, I feel like I need to change my helmet because everyone else has got pink ones. But anyways, Joe making his way around to start his final run. Is LB on a run? He's not. Ghost is not on a run either. So this is it then. Squeaky bum time, as we call it in the business, as Joey B goes off to start his lap down in towards turn number 1, and a little bit wide of the apex there, but down the hill he goes, car number 46 on his final lap around this circuit. Let's see how committed he is in his Alpine through the S section. That's a decent bit of commitment through there, a little bit better than the last time we ran through here, and a little bit wide of that corner. Banter Brandon out. He's retired in the pit lane, perhaps. Yes, I think he ran out of time. He couldn't go out for another lap. I think that's going to be the same for Ghost. There's a yellow flag as a Sass moving slowly up ahead. That could be Jacko, as LB is retired as well. He can't get out for another lap. All these cars peel out the way. They do. As we say that, let's see Joe in towards this next corner. Turn number 11, I believe. In towards sector 3 we go. Now, there's a lot of traffic coming up for Joe. He'll hope they all peel out of his way as we go through. I think we've got the Saubers who are going to be next across the line by the looks of things. So we'll keep an eye on them once Joe has come through. What can he do? 2 corners to navigate now. Oh, and he invalidates. That's unfortunate. I know how that feels. So I did that in tier 2. Threw away a potential front row start there, but you never know. MX, has he got anything left? He's down currently on his previous by a few hundredths. Can he find anything more in his final 2 corners? One more corner for the returning German driver. Let's see what he can do. Or a little bit. No, ooh, only by half a tenth. But it looked very, very squirrely through the exit. But Pito up on his time, only good enough for 17th. Lawrence crosses the line. He's done for the session. P13 will be his lot today. Here's Koru, 4 tenths up. This is looking like a potential P11 maybe. If he can carry it through. P12 perhaps. Let's see if he can go through P14. I was a little bit off on my prediction there, but a solid improvement for Koru. He'll be happy with that, I'm sure. Elite NL Dave, another new driver. He is done for this session. Invalidated is his time. Glock only up a little bit. It's the fine margins. No one has gone near Paulie Orange yet. No one's come within a tenth, and Glock has been unable to do it. Paulie Orange currently sitting on a great time. And is he improving? Let's find out. He's out on track. Car number 11 makes his way through the final corner. Can he improve on an already impressive time? He can. A 31.9. I told you we were going to see it. Vandersnatch, could he be the driver to take it away? He can't, and he couldn't even get close to the previous time. Kylo Ren goes into the second row as well, but still no one can beat Paulie Orange in this qualifying session. And I don't know if there's anybody left out on track to do it. Palang, he improves, but he doesn't improve his position all that much. Rick in the top 3. He snuck in there as the Dutchman through that lap. RJ Blair P8. Solid drive from the American, it must be said. He's having a great return to the league. Hamilton Merck, or Josh as he now is, P9. And I think that might be everybody. Pepito isn't on a lap. And that is your qualifying session. Paulie Orange, who set an outstanding lap time in the second set of runs, has set an even better one the only driver to make it into the 1 minute 31s, and is your man on pole position. Thoroughly exciting qualifying. Very close between, I mean, it's about 2/10 to poorly orange. Then it's very close to P2, 3, 4, 5. Here, even MX and Glock are quite close together, and RJ, in fact, as well. I think that might have been the quickest RJ's gone all week around this circuit. So I think he'll be very impressed with that lap time. Might smell like a bit of a promotion from Tier 3 if he carries on the current form he's got. But of course we have had a fair bit of racing at this track, so I'll leave the numbers up to Ghost. That's his expertise. Yes, there we go. Let's run you through the standings then after the qualifying session that we have just had. And it's poorly orange on pole position, lining up alongside Kylo Ren, one of last season's championship challengers. 2000s back is Rick in P3. Then there's Vander and Palang, the top 5, with MX, Glock, RJ, Josh and Banterbrand on the top 10. Then you got Robert DS, Ghost, Jack, Elite Dave, Lawrence, Temp, LB, Popito and Joe B lining up on the back of the grid. I feel very lonely right now. Nobody in the live chat saying hello. Only Lawson Bowles. I can only assume that's LB. But it's nice to be back. It's been a little while. It looks nice and sunny here at COTA right now. Doesn't look like any threat of rain for the time being. And I think the drivers, they'll be taking a bit of time to ponder the strategy. They've had 2 races now, where before they would only have 1, to kind of get a feel for what the strategy is. And I think the big question we've got is it the 1-stop or the 2-stop here at COTA? I think both have their advantages. I was definitely leaning towards a 2-stop on Tuesday, but the racing gods decided that I wasn't going to get to execute that plan. But I was going to go for a medium hard, as I find the medium tyres are a lot worse than the hards around this circuit. The hards actually felt quite good, but it depends really what you think you can make work around here. If you think you can take the tyres a long way, then go for the 1-stop. But if you don't quite trust the drop-off, and I'm telling you the drop-off is quite severe at this circuit, then the 2-stop might be the way to go. We'll wait and see what the drivers do. We'll have but moments once we are moved over to the grid. We're just waiting to see what happens. And here we go. We have 3, 4, 5 red lights at the first race in APPF1 Tier 1. And we are underway and racing. It looks like a great start from Poorly Orange. And everyone's off and away. Well, Kylo Ren might look to challenge in towards the first corner. The Williams of Vandersnatch takes a look, but Poorly Orange pulls away well. And it's carnage behind them as there's a bunch of cars all gaggled up. I think this is Lawrence who's gone round. And there's another car, LB as well, that's round. And that's Pepito too. Absolute scenes at the first corner here. But Poorly Orange gets away incredibly well. Anything else going on down the grid right now? There's a few cars battling along. That's Elite Dave and RJ. RJ's had an awful start on those medium tyres there. Tries to get her past the Red Bull. Isn't able to. Glock on the attack as well. Around the outside, very late braking move. Is it going to pay off? I don't think so. He has to slot back in, but he's got the grip on the exit of the corner. And then it's side by side, the Williams and the Ferrari, 2 historic teams battling down the straight on this first lap as they go along. Vandersnatch versus Glock, 2 very quick drivers. The leaders are peeled away already as they've already broken DRS. Not that they've got it this lap, but fantastic battling, and Glock gets in front of Vandersnatch. Already exciting first opening laps. Biggest winner, Ghost, 4 places up he is after the start of the race, and that's what you want to see. That's where Ghost is going to find his rhythm. I think he is great in the races. He's an incredibly patient and experienced driver, and he's going to definitely work together with his teammate Josh here to make the best out of this. It's interesting, most drivers favouring the medium tyre, although Palang on the hards, Dave, Koru, LB and Pepito also joining him on the hard tyres as MX gets past Robert DS for 11th place. MX way down as well, one of the bigger losers, as well as RJ Blair. What a start to this race we've had for a lot of drivers. Absolute carnage in the first few corners. The back three all in to change wings and change tyres. That is not the start they would have wanted to their Tier 1 seasons. But it looks like Rick's closed back up now. Paulie Orange is doing everything he can to break the toe here of Kylo Ren as we go down in towards turn 11 once more. It's turn 12 actually. I've got my corners muddled. As Glock makes another move on Palang, but they're still side by side, and Palang squeezed to the inside, tries to keep it there, but doesn't. Glock's got the grip on the exit, and that's going to be P4 for the Ferrari. He'll be looking to challenge the front three right away. Rick will be looking in his mirrors for sure, seeing that scarlet red car in the back, in his background, and he'll be looking out for that one. Popito with the first of many time penalties, I'm sure, this evening. As we go through Paulie Orange, fastest lap of the race so far. Doing a great job, just controlling the race at the moment. But Kylo doing everything he can to keep him honest. Keep him there. Rick needs to hold on. Rick will be in a lot of trouble if he can't get DRS down the back straight here. He's got to nail this first sector and really close up. But the dirty air on this year's game is something else. The cars just don't want to turn. They feel a lot more sluggish, especially in these high speed sort of corners. And Rick, a little bit of a tank snapper through there. I think he'll just get DRS, and that will help him defend from Glock for now. He won't be able to go on the attack, however, unless a mistake here from Kylo and Orange. But no mistakes. All aboard the Paulie Orange train right now. We've got 12 cars all in this DRS train that's started with Paulie Orange. It's a great day for Ferrari so far. Let's see if it can continue. Meanwhile, Pepito and LB, two Tier 3 drivers toward the back here, and that's no insult towards them. LB had a fantastic race in COTA on Tuesday, it must be said. But at the back for now, safety car could always change that. Kylo Ren still piling on the pressure to Paulie Orange. Paulie Orange, I know, has been training profusely for this season. In the chat, he was always asking what the calendar is, what races he should be preparing for. And he's very eager to come back and race here with us at APPF1. And it's nice to have him back. One of the big name drivers, I suppose, that we've had over our time here. Can you believe it's almost been 5 years of APPF1? 5 years. Our birthday, for anyone who isn't in the know, is on July 21st. That is when APPF1 League founder, as Banter Brandon gets the 3-second time penalty, created this league for your racing pleasure. And, well, I've been a member since probably the end of July, first few weeks, actually. So I've been around for a long time, one of the old guard. Here longer than even Ghost. Who is the now league owner, as AP didn't have any more time really to dedicate to the league after COVID, of course. Anyway, Rick really struggling now to keep up with the leaders, and this is going to open up an opportunity for Glock. I think he'll feel that Rick's slowing him down, and he'll feel that he can go up there and help his teammate out and ease the pressure that Kylo Ren's putting on him. And of course, no Finley or Chris today, so this is a really wide open race so far. Those two obviously pitted as favourites to get themselves good results in this opening round, but since they're not here, well, the mice are out to play now, as it were. Vandersnatch very wide through the penultimate corner there. That could be a track limits warning. You won't want too many of those. I somehow managed to go a whole 28 laps without a single one on Tuesday. I was very impressed with myself as we go through, but not really a lot happening right now. The DRS train is just kind of neutralising things. Everybody's just happy to see us. Ghost as a big moment out of turn one. That's going to compromise him in towards this sector one. I just about saw him lose the grip on the exit, and that's one of the big problems around this track. The grip just falls away from you so drastically. You just cannot sort of predict it sometimes. And Rick, is he going to get the DRS this time? He's not. This could open the door for Glock here. Let's ride on board with the Ferrari, man. Rick gets a fantastic exit, though, it must be said. And Rick will do everything he can, but watch the closing speed. Glock closing. Is this going to be a late send on Rick? It is. He dummied to the outside, went for the inside move, and that is a fantastic little move into turn 12. Elite Dave also making a move on Jacko Lacko, the Scotsman, in towards the top 10. If you're not aware, it is points for the top 15 in APPF1, starting with 20 for the leader, and then working its way down. Although it's slightly different, isn't it? It's 20, 16... Something. I don't know. I just work here, bro. No, I should probably tell you. What the real point system is. I should know this off the top of my head by now, to be honest, but I just don't. But it's 20 for the win, 16 for second, 14 for third, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down to P15. And the battle with Glock has... well, has opened the gap up a little bit more. The leaders will be resting for a little bit, I suppose. But it won't be an easy rest, I won't imagine. Because I imagine Glock might start to catch up. Although it was mentioned by the leaders of Tier 2 yesterday. Oh, I say yesterday, on Tuesday, that one of them were sort of managing the tyre situation and doing their best to ensure that they had the tyres to fight with. But I'll be interested to see what these guys opt to do, especially the likes of Palang, Rick, Glock, Kylo, Orange. You know, these guys are the very best of the best. The creme de la creme, as it were. So it'll be interesting to see what they get up to. And to Brandon looking to maybe shape a move on Ghost right now. Ghost, lots of battery at his disposal. Everybody's saving it. Just having a little look on the wheels. Oh, and they're at the back now. Yeah, not everybody equally on here, and I think Glock's actually just struggling to catch back up here. And Rick dives in. Oh, but he's missed the pit lane. Oh dear. He's lucky not to overshoot it anymore or go into the barrier, but oof. And here comes Banter Brandon, going to take advantage of Rick. And oh, does he almost clip Ghost on the exit there as well? Nearly. That was very, very close to an incident there. But Rick, oh dear. I don't think that was a last minute call. I think that was a genuine misjudgment of the corner into that pit lane. He's very, very lucky not to be buried in that barrier right now. Just about avoided it. But that's going to have an effect on his race, I think. He was running quite nicely in P4 behind Glock, and now he's all the way down in P9. High profile mistake as Palang gets past Glock, who is struggling on those aging medium tyres. And this is the point where the mediums start to drop off. I found the hards start to come into their own. Rick just all over the place right now. What is he up to? Absolutely crazy. But yeah, this is probably what Glock's feeling. He's struggling, and look, Palang is actually opening that up now. Palang's in a good spot here to get a podium finish, I think, on this alternate strategy. The leaders, they stay out. Palang's obviously going to stay out. Anybody else coming in? Rick, he's going to try again. Don't overshoot it this time, Rick. There you go. That's how you go into the pit lane, Rick. Well done. Here's a gold star. This might put him closer to his arch nemesis, I shall say, MX, later down the line. But we'll see as they go along. A lot of water under that bridge, as far as Rick and MX are concerned. Hello to the 6 people watching. How are we all doing? Are you enjoying the race so far? It's quite a quiet one so far. Everybody in a DRS train. It's all aboard the Palang train right now, as the leaders have shot off into the distance. Paulie Orange and Kylo just sort of managing things right now. A battle waiting to happen. Glock was making a charge forward, but the tyre wear has come back to bite him, and that's where he's lost out to Palang here, who was the highest placed hard starter. So keep an eye on Palang on that alternate strategy. The question is, those of you watching, is this a 1-stop or a 2-stop race as Jackalacko and MX go side by side? Jacko slightly off the circuit there. I don't think there was really much in it though, as MX moves up into P10. But yes, that is the question right now. Is this a 1-stop or 2-stop race? And of course, who is going to be your APPF1 Tier 1 podium sitters for round 1 here in COTA? Pop it in the chat. Let's see, I want to know your thoughts. Those of you who are watching right now. I bet some of you are drivers who are watching right now. I still don't understand how you can do that. Keep one eye on the stream and race along. I can't do that. It's too distracting. Oh, big lock up for Glock. In towards turn number 1 there. That's Rick with a 3-second time penalty. Thus far. And Glock really struggling with the tyre life now. He's used a lot of his battery as well to stay with this, so I think he's really feeling the effects of the wear. This is where you start thinking about the 2-stop, because the tyres do just fall off, but I think some people seem to find it easier than others to manage the tyres. Palang's closed the gap a little bit, not too much, but it's steadily coming down. I think those mediums are beyond their best now, and the hards are coming into it, but the hards won't last for much longer. Although I managed to take them about 17 laps or so as Elite Dave passes Banter Brandon down the straight. A better exit would have helped him with that one, as Pepito does a yellow flag. Any damage on the Sauber? I don't think so. As LB and Lawrence, they renew a bit of a battle here toward the back of the grid. For P17, they'll be praying for a safety car to intervene in this race. As Ghost gets past Josh. Was that a team order? It looks like it. Josh looks a bit compromised here. Josh into the pits now as well. First of this front-running train of cars to come in. It's going to be the hard tyres for the McLaren. Banter Brandon followed him in as well. So they're going for the undercut. It is powerful here. Alex proved how powerful the undercut is in Tier 3. And Josh is looking to take full advantage. And the leaders won't know that Josh has come in, but Ghost will. I'd imagine Ghost might come in this lap. And I think maybe some of the drivers are like Glock and Elite Dave. No, Elite Dave will stay out. Or Jack might come in, perhaps. Maybe even Vandersnatch. We'll see, but Palang, Kylo, Paulie, they won't know that Josh has come in, and he's come out. He's ahead of Banter, of course, and he's sort of on the back of Rick. So Rick came in. He's got a decent undercut ahead of them, but he was already ahead of Josh anyway. Josh is 2.5 seconds behind Rick, so Rick worked out that undercut quite nicely. However, as MX and Jacko swap places yet again, and RJ looking to get involved now too. Rick with that 3-second time penalty, that's going to affect him as Josh and Banter are going for it now. Banter Brandon up the inside of Josh, and that's a place. Well, yes, he was behind when he pitted because he went straight on, so he did get a lot from the undercut there, but if he didn't make that mistake, he was actually ahead, but yes. So he's probably gained maybe about a second and a half, maybe. We'll see as Joe and Rick into the final corner, side by side. Rick with a late move, and this is the closest Kylo has been all stint. No others of the leaders have come in, so Josh could be onto something here, but he's got to keep the pace up. The battle with Banter isn't helping him. I think he needs to try and work with Banter Brandon as much as he can, and more importantly, Palang has closed into the back of this lead fight now, and so this will be interesting. Kylo and Paulie will come in before Palang, I'd imagine. But how much longer does Palang stay out after that? That is the question. Meanwhile, Vandersnatch is now promoted to the leader of this train. Glock and Ghost sat behind. I'll ride along with Ghost. We'll see what he's planning. What's cooking in the McLaren garage right now as Josh and Joe pass each other on the straights. Josh putting in some work, clearing some of the back markers. Now let's see, what's Ghost cooking in that papaya cockpit? He is peeling in, along with Vandersnatch and Glock. Alright, so now we'll see how powerful this undercut is or isn't, as relative to Josh, who is coming through the final two corners now. Vandersnatch is leaving the pits. Oh no, he's still in the pits actually. But the Ferrari and the McLaren are all leaving now. Keep an eye on the left hand side of your screen. It's nice and easy to see who's coming out. Josh is going to come out ahead of them. Not by much though. But he does get the undercut on those cars, and is now the lead McLaren once again. He's got about a second. Crucial time. Will he be able to take those hards all the way to the end? We'll see. But the more interesting is that Banter Brandon is the one who has been the big gainer here as RJ's round. I think he might have wing damage. I can't see from this angle. He does, yeah. Front left end plate. That's a shame for the American driver who had a fantastic showing in qualifying. Must be applauded. But you can see how powerful the undercut is actually. As Rick is now back to where he was. He regained all of that time that he lost. But that 3-second time penalty is really going to hamper him, as MX and Jack have been going at it lap after lap. But now Jack trying to go around the outside, not going to work there. Does he get the better exit? He does, and he's going to go around the outside for the triple right-hander. Surely not from the Haas driver. He peels back behind and goes in. But Kylo Ren now into the pits. Paulie Orange still out in the lead, but the undercut, like we've been saying, is very strong around here. Will Paulie Orange know that? Will he come in? MX and Jacko both in after their battle as well. They'll be way behind this lead fight, as they have been most of the race. Elite Dave's been promoted into P3, but he's yet to stop. But Rick, more importantly, he's gained time, and if you look, he's got Koru here as a buffer. I think Rick is on for P4 at most. Maybe even P3. It all depends what Palang is planning to do. Because right now he'd come out in the lead actually if they were to come out. So actually Rick is cooking with the strategy. I think he's net lead right now. But for how long? He's got 5 extra laps on the tyres that the other drivers don't have, and we've got a big gaggle of cars here. Kylo Ren, one of the lead cars, has got all the other drivers who are fighting for the lead behind him, other than Koru here, who's slowly getting filtered through. This Glock looks to go for it, maybe. Does he go for the inside? No, he gets very close. It's always tempting down there. It's Paulie Orange finally in. Kylo Ren is coming through the last 2 corners. I think Paulie Orange, he's going to lose the lead to Rick. Palang is now the leader, but he has to stop. Have a look on the left. That Ferrari's moving in the pit lane. And here comes Rick. Rick is going to be out ahead of the Ferrari. Will Kylo get him as well? Yes, he will. There he is. The timing tower hit him. And actually, Paulie Orange is now behind Josh even. He's been absolutely robbed with the undercut here. And you can just see how powerful it is. There's a yellow flag. Somebody got damaged. Not Ghost, maybe. Ghost being held up by Koru here. I think he'll be a little bit aggrieved in that cockpit. As he's sort of missed out on the opportunity to get past him. But Rick has got a 1.8 second lead. But actually, effectively, Kylo is the net lead with that 3-second time penalty. Interesting stuff. But there's plenty of laps left to go. We're at the halfway point of the race now. I think Rick's going for the 2-stop. I think there's no doubt in my mind. There's no way he takes those tyres 21 laps. We'll see. Battle resumed for MX and Jackalacco. Awful camera angles, it must be said. Side by side they go through this corner. Oh, fantastic battling between these two. Lots of races between the pair of them. Lots of battles, and this will just add to them. Trying to make up for the shocking camera angles that EA Codemasters gave us through that battle there. As Kylo closing in on Rick now. He'll want to get this move on track. And Banter's promoted into him. You know, Josh is in a good shout for a podium here as well. Can't rule him out, but he's got Paulie Orange for company. And he's on much older tyres. So Paulie Orange got a tyre delta here as well. I think he can go to the end on those tyres. Rick will struggle, I think. And you can see that he's already lost the gap advantage that he had. Banter doesn't seem to... Kylo doesn't seem to have got DRS. Or if he did, he's not using it. There's Rick, big lockup. Kylo puts the pressure on him. Rick will know that he's there, of course. He'll be looking in those mirrors. He'll be seeing that silver Mercedes as he comes through. These camera angles are really bad as we go through. Let's ride back on board with MX and Jacko. Are they fighting once again? They're not. Let's take a look at the penalty situation. 3 seconds for all drivers other than Popito. Lawrence having a very lonely race toward the back here. Not the early birthday present he would be wanting. As Kylo Ren passes Rick in towards turn 1. Fairly standard pass. Does Rick have a go at him on the exit? He doesn't. Paulie Orange passes Josh as well. Something weird's going on there as Josh Ghosts and Glock goes straight through him. Ferrari versus McLaren on the track right now. Glock, however, has got a 3-second time penalty. That won't help him going forward. Ghost is closing on the back of this battle as well. Banter Brandon's going to be the next driver to have a go at Rick. But Rick will, more importantly, have the DRS now. So he'll have an opportunity to fight back. I think most drivers at the front here are going for the 1-stop. I think that's the general consensus right now. By the looks of things. But Palang and Dave are going to be severely undercut. They'll probably be a few seconds off the back of this train. They might even be behind Vandersnatch. In all honesty. Well, maybe not so Palang. He might be just ahead, but Dave will for sure be behind his teammate. Not his teammate, but will be behind Vandersnatch. So definitely a interesting call here, and they're both in, so we'll find out the answers to our questions right now. But they'll all be behind this train. They'll be on the mediums. They'll have tyre advantage, but as I said, the mediums aren't that great. But from what Lawrence tells me, they're actually quite good on the lower fuel. So it'll be interesting. Here's Vandersnatch. Down the main straight he goes. There is Palang exiting the pit lane. They're both out ahead. There we go. So they just came out ahead. It was close. By the looks of things. Just ahead of Koru here. Temp. So Palang will have to put those tyres to use. He's got 4 seconds to the back of this train. But it's a 7-car train for the lead of this race. 4 cars of the 7 have time penalties to their names. And so in theory, your podium right now is Kylo, Paulie Orange and Josh. If they all stay this close together all the way to the end. But I think we might be shaping up for some battles here now. And I wouldn't rule out the chance of any other drivers getting a penalty. It opens it wide up. Hello to the 9 people watching. Say hello in the chat. It's very lonely here as Glock and Banter Brandon side by side, and they're going to continue to be side by side through the triple right-hander. And Glock's going to try and go all the way around the outside. Impressive stuff. They're still side by side into the penultimate corner, and the Ferrari gets it, but Banter goes through. Oh, that's a big crash. Oh, virtual safety car. That'll be in the steward's room later on, but they tried to keep the battle going through the penultimate corner, and the pair of them got locked wheels and went straight into the wall. That is unfortunate. That'll be looked at in the stewards, I'm sure. I don't know who's really at fault there for that one. Banter Brandon was trying to keep it around the outside. Glock trying to keep it on the inside as well. I'll leave it at what you saw right now, but virtual safety car is going to offer an opportunity for the drivers toward the back to get in, but I did say this 7-car train might not last for long, and so it hasn't. Josh has lost 2 seconds to Paulie Orange. I don't know when that happened, but all the drivers will be under a delta. Hello, me. A Glock fan, it seems, and yeah, that was unfortunate. I think Glock managed to not get away with damage, but I'm sure we'll see that. Virtual safety cars ended? Ended? Yes? Looks like it's ended. At least as far as the track map's concerned. With the virtual safety cars allegedly still going on here. But I think it's ended. Weird graphics. Yeah, classic. But there you go. I think this is, personally, this could really be our podium. Ghost will be happy that both Banter and Glock have taken each other out of the fight at the front. He'll be elevated for sure. But yes. Meanwhile, Palang hasn't caught up as much as he would like. But I think that virtual safety car kind of put an end to that. Oh no, it's gone now, me. It's gone. Don't you worry. It's going to be an EA Codemasters game without a few bugs. Palang into the pits. Did he get a drive-through? He got a drive-through. Oh, Palang. He was on for a solid shot at a good result today. And that's all over now. That drive-through is going to put him just ahead of Banter and Glock here. It'll save him a lap of tyre wear, but... Well, I'll say a lap of tyre wear. It'll save him a little bit of tyre wear, but... Not ideal for Palang and his campaign right now. But the team pairing of Ghost and Josh here, looking very strong so far. They will be leading the championship, I think, if it were to end like this. Meanwhile, this looks like a move, maybe. Paulie Orange on Rick. Oh, he doesn't go for the late send. Thinks better about it. He knows Rick's got a penalty, but Rick's not the driver he's after. He doesn't care about Rick. No offence, Rick. The driver he wants is Kylo, who's right ahead of him, who has taken the race lead after a very smart call to pit early. I think Paulie was trying to eke it out as long as he dared, but there's not much of a tyre delta between the two of them. However, there is between Rick, and Paulie Orange needs to pass Rick soon, or he risks Kylo pulling away a lead and making his life a lot harder than it needs to be. And there's the move from Paulie Orange. Pulls to the inside. Gets back on the racing line. Job done. So I'm getting really fidgety and it's hot right now. Hello, Denko. How we doing? Have you been enjoying the race? Or have you just tuned in? If you've just tuned in, we've just had a virtual safety car. Glock and Banter Brandon came together at the penultimate corner. Dragged each other into the wall. No huge damage. But that's ended their chance at the front. Kylo has been controlling the pace for this second stint, but Paulie's going to be back on him now. And it looks like Josh is in great shouts for a podium here. Yeah, Rick is going to be crying on those tyres now as Paulie Orange pulls around the outside and passes with the DRS. This will be a battle that lasts for the next few laps, I'd have thought. I told you it would heat up between these two eventually, and I think we're going to be in for a show. But yes, I think Rick will be really struggling now. We'll take another look at the penalty situation. 3 seconds again for most drivers. 6 for Banter and Glock. Palang and Jacko Blacko going past each other here. Is Jacko going to go around the outside? He has a little look. Does Jacko. Will he send it? He loves to send at this corner. No. No. We all know what happened there in Tier 2. That's Rick into the pits. There it is. I think it'll be mediums for Rick. But I think he might cut... Oh, he's going to come out behind a big gaggle of cars. I don't think he's got the number of laps on the board to get this right. Let's see where... As Panther Brandon gets past Jack Alacco, and there it is. All the way down to P11 for Rick. He'll have the tyres, but he's got to make his way through a whole bunch of cars. And I think he'll lose more than he gains here. Yeah, it is a bold strategy, certainly. I mean, this has been the question all week, actually. Ever since Tier 3 on Monday, the question has been, is it the 1-stop or the 2-stop? I thought it would be the 2-stop on Tier 2, although the 1-stop seemed to work just fine. The hards can go relatively long, in all honesty. I think the mediums they just suck in those early stints, I think. You've got to try and get the most out of them, but you've got to look after them as well. I think it does help if you're the leader or in clear air, because the tyres can then... They get a bit of a break, as Vandersnatch and Joe having a bit of a battle back here. But the tyres just get a bit of a break, you know, especially from like the dirty air and such, which won't help the tyre wear at all. But, yeah. Yeah, see, 10 to 12. I mean, if it go... I would have, honestly, if I was Rick, what I planned to do in Tier 2 was pit around lap 7 on the mediums, and then do 2 stints on the hards. Because I thought the hards are a much better race tyres. Palang and MX now, and this is a battle we're going to want to watch. Banter Brandon sends it late, nearly into the back of Palang, side by side with MX. MX holds on to it. Glock is under threat from Jack Alacco here as well. There's time penalties in amongst this, and Rick, he's going to be watching this thinking, I just need to get past, and get past quickly. Jacko shouldn't give him too much trouble, although you never know. Might be some team orders at Haas. But more time penalties for drivers through here, and they're all going to be feeling the effects of the dirty air, I'm certain of that. Yeah, I think he might have been. I think he might have been. Meanwhile, Elite Dave gets past Ghost. Ghost didn't put up too much of a fight for it, but with the DRS... he wouldn't have had that much to play with, and the tyre advantage here as well. Rick past Jacko. I think that might have been some team orders there for Haas. That's Rick on the on the faster tyre. MX and Banter side by side. There they go through turn number, I want to say it's 15. As they go, and it looks like Banter holds MX off for the time being. But there's not a lot in it between a lot of these drivers right now. They're fighting tooth and nail. Kylo Ren's still just keeping Paulie Orange honest. He's yet to pounce. Elite Dave, though, suddenly in contention for a podium. He's going to be after Josh. Ghost will do everything he can to help out. We've got a fight for the win, a fight for the final spot on the podium, and then a huge fight for the rest of the positions, P6 downwards. Yeah, the hard medium seems to go well. I think, honestly, clear air is king on this game. As Ghost is going to get involved now. They're 3 wide into turn 11. And Ghost goes down the inside of both his teammate and the Red Bull. And the Red Bull goes off the circuit. That was a great little battle, but they're still going at it. They're going to be 3 wide again as they go down in towards turn number 12. As the 2 McLarens try and fight off this lone Red Bull. Elite Dave sees them both off. Will Ghost send a late move to the inside? He doesn't. He holds off for now. And Elite Dave, fantastic battling between these 3 and finds himself on the podium. Ghost lets Josh through. Ghost, I think, did everything he could there to try and fight off Elite Dave. Glock made his way through on MX, and Rick are now fighting. This is the battle we wanted to see. Rick and MX, these 2 do not get on at all. Rick does not like MX, and MX nearly into the side. Indeed. It's fantastic. But yes, as I was saying, I think clear air is king on this game. If you've got the clear air, you can manage the tyres much better. Much, much better. Definitely some team orders, me. Definitely. Oh, and lots more battling going on. Glock trying to go down the inside of MX here. Rick's got through. I don't think MX has got much to answer with on his 11-lap hold hard, but he's holding off Glock quite well in that Sauber, and he keeps him behind for now. He'll have lost some time though. Rick on the move here as well. MX here, but don't rule MX out. He is an aggressive driver. This man is the only driver to be a 3-time Tier 1 champion. He hasn't been here for a while, but he is certainly no driver to be scoffed at. Let's say. And I don't know what's happened here, but Kylo Ren has dropped off significantly. 2 seconds is now the gap, and it looks like his fight for the win is, well, more or less over. MX and Glock still going at it. As Glock going to go around the outside, but thinks better of it. Tries to get the switch back on MX, but MX blocks it off and dives down the inside. Does Glock. Side by side they go once again, and they're going to be side by side through here. MX, I think he's privy to that one. He had the traction, and he's defending very, very well. Rick is on a mission. He is, but it's going to be time penalties that decide this race for a lot of these drivers now. And 9 seconds is the most. And that's on Banter Brandon's V-Carb, or RB as they are now. Palang's found himself back in this after the drive-through. Glock out of battery. It's got about 32%. So not a lot to deal with. Not a lot to go for. Oh, look at those 3 cars up here. Palang, Banter, and Rick. Rick, I think his target's Palang. I think P5 is out of the question. Unless he can cut down that 9.5 gap. But he'd have to get past Banter and Palang to do it. But of course, Rick's got that 3-second time penalty. So I think P6. No. Yes, P7 is probably the most Rick will hope for today. And it's interesting to see what the drivers have been doing, and the gaps have been opening up. It's this battle in the midfield now that's interesting us. I don't think Ghost will do anything to hinder his teammate. They'll know the situation. Josh would have been loving a podium on his first race back, as Banter Brandon tries to go, thinks about a move into the penultimate corner, thinks better of it. But this is the fight we're watching now, as Paulie Orange has just gone down the road. Yeah, the tyres are dying all over the place. So interesting. Here comes banter again on Palang. 9 seconds of time penalties, but is not willing to let go and is wanting to fight for every little bit of circuit. And these three are just glued together, line astern, through the S's. That's not going to be too great as Rick tries to go around the outside of Palang. That's his target there. If he can get a gap of the 3 seconds to Palang, he might get this, but they're both on a similar life medium tyre. Well, Rick's actually got the slightly better mediums, I should say. Glock's managed to finally get past MX, but 9 seconds of time penalties means he's going to drop right back behind him. Here comes Palang on Banter. There it is. The move. Banter's going to keep going around the outside of him, though. Off the circuit goes the RB. Rick nowhere to go. And Glock's just watching all this unfold in his Ferrari here, waiting to pick up the pieces. But again, 9 seconds of time penalties on the Ferrari, so not really much he can do here. Palang will be wishing these guys stop fighting him because they've all got penalties, and it's a bit futile, really. But this is racing, everyone. This is what we all come here to watch. It's MX, a little bit of a tank snapper out of the final corner. His tyres will be screaming at the moment. Palang and there goes Rick down the inside. Big send, and he sends the Aston Martin round almost. And off the circuit. That might be looked at in the stewards later on. But Rick making the desperate move toward the end. I don't think it's going to do much. And he's got 6 seconds now as well. I think that was very... I don't know. That was just not very well thought out, I don't think. So at the end of the day, Palang is just going to jump all these guys and take P6 away. Yeah, I think he must be. I mean, remember, he had that little go into the pits, didn't he? And he almost went into the barriers, but managed to avoid them. But yeah, he's got to be frustrated in that cockpit, to say the least. There's Glock down the inside now of Rick. But Rick going to come right back at him round the outside. Glock fends him off, shows him the outside of the circuit. Rick tries to brake late, go around the outside again, maybe hoping for a switchback, draws alongside the Ferrari now, and they're side by side through here. We've seen this before. Rick right away around the outside, and they're still going to be side by side into the penultimate corner, and Rick just about gets it done, and maybe Glock just backing off a little bit, remembering what happened to Banter. Oh, and that was very close into that final corner there. Oh, Rick definitely got an axe to grind in this final stint of the race. MX making a move on Palang, getting his way past. We're on the final lap now, folks. One more tour of this circuit for all of these drivers, and it looks like a certain victory for a certain Mr. Paulie Orange on his return to Sim Racing here in APPF1, and a fantastic return it's been for him as well. Let's see now. Let's head to the front with our leader. We'll keep an eye on the timing tower, but only one more section of track to navigate now. Vamos Orange, says Martin in the chat. As I think this race has been... It's had its highs and it's had its lows for sure. But we've had a fantastic go around here. And Paulie Orange, with 2 more corners to navigate, is going to be the winner of the American Grand Prix here in APPF1 for Tier 1. His first win of the season. I'm sure I'll get some more of those. Kylo Ren will finish P2, and Elite NL Dave on the alternate strategy P3, a fantastic drive for him. I think that's a win on, podium on debut. I don't know if he's raced here with us before. Someone will have to fact check me on that. But a fantastic finish from McLaren. Rick up to P6. MX though jumps him. Palang, oh my word. MX a great drive actually to get into P7. Rick won't be too happy with that. Glock all the way down in P12, behind Banter as well. The time penalties, like I said, deciding this race, and that's Lawrence! Oh! Oh, Lawrence! I know this hasn't been the race for him, but he's in the wall. Oh. Absolutely gutted. He'll be classified, but there'll be no points for Lawrence. That is a huge shame. You cursed him. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to see the end of the race, but Lawrence won't. So, at least I'm ahead of him. You do hate to see it. It could be worse. You could do it out of the final corner when you're in P2. Like a certain somebody. Definitely not me. There we go. A fantastic opening round. I'm going to see if we can talk to our drivers, our top three. Let me ping them quickly. Paulie. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually. When I think about it. I need to see which drivers we've got. But a fantastic race though. Paulie in the fight all the way to the end. Fantastic stuff. We've got Elite NL Dave, driver of the day, Glock, Paulie Orange, Rick, and cleanest driver there, Paulie Orange. Fantastic. My driver of the day, I will give to Elite NL Dave, pulled off the alternate strategy, but Paulie Orange is your winner. Kylo Ren and Elite Dave make up the podium, with then Josh and Ghost, the top 5. Then there's Palang, MX, Rick, Vandersnatch, and Jackalacko, the top 10. Banter Brandon, Glock, Koru, RJ Blair, Joe. The rest of the points finishes with LB and Pepito finishing the race. Lawrence and Robert Diaz not seeing it out to the end. And there we have it. Paulie, Kylo, and Elite Dave. Paulie. Let's see if I can get them. There might be. I don't know. There's a lot of... There's a lot... I don't think there's that many incidents this race. There was a couple between a few drivers. But, we'll see. I don't know. Alright, so no Kylo. Let me just see if I can get a Paulie Orange. I'll just wait a few moments. But, there we go. Ah, there we are. Paulie Orange. I don't think we'll get anybody else other than myself talking back to me. How you doing? How was that race from your perspective? Yeah, I mean, I'm sweating a little bit, but I can only imagine it's worse for you. Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it's been about a year or two since you've been racing. Almost 2 years. Well, I mean, you wouldn't know it once... well, you wouldn't know it from watching you today out on the win, but... strategy-wise, did you always know it was going to be a one-stop, or was that a really risky sort of move? Yeah, that's fair enough. How are the tyres toward the end? Were they all right, or is it a little bit dicey towards those last few laps? Oh, fair enough. Alrighty. Well, and for the rest of the season, how do you think? There's a few big players missing, but But what are your chances? Well, we'll see. I mean, there was a lot of mistakes from a few guys out there today, but a solid start to win your first race back in about 2 years. So good stuff. Alrighty. I don't want to leave the session, but what I will do. Well, I've just been informed. I didn't realise you couldn't hear him. But the brief summary was that yeah, the brief summary. Why can I hear myself back? That's really odd. Let's see. This is really weird. I hope you can't hear me twice on stream. But anyway, if you couldn't hear him, the brief summary. That's why. If you couldn't hear him, the brief summary was that I'm not a party. That's why. Oh my god! You think I'd never done this before? There we go. Well, the brief summary of that was that his tyres felt pretty good. He knew it was always going to be a one-stop. But once Finley and the like get back, he'll definitely be back, sort of behind them, perhaps. But anyways, apologies for the interview. I'll make sure that those are. I'll make sure those are back to snuff. It's been a little while since I've done comms, but I'll be back. I'll be here for the next couple of weeks. And then hopefully our new commentator, I've written his name down somewhere, Louis L. Day, will be taking over and looking after Tier 1. But for now, you're with me, and I'll be looking after you for the next 3-4 weeks or so until our new commentator takes over. But thank you all so very much for watching and making it all the way to the end. Make sure you subscribe as well to catch all of the racing action. But I'm going to get off, go get a cup of tea, relax, and I don't know, try not to melt. But stay cool, stay hydrated, and I will see you next week for some more APPF1 Tier 1. Goodbye.